Good morning and welcome. Now, today's lesson is The Secret of Seaview Cottage. This story, The Secret of Seaview Cottage, is an excerpt, means a part from The Boy's Yarn by the author Arthur Groom. The story is all about adventures of the boys of Sea Scouts in a small cottage. The cottage has a secret tunnel inside and a treasure trove. Then, let us know something about the author first, then we proceed further. Arthur Groom was an Australian writer. He was born in Melbourne. He had his schooling in Southport School near Brisbane. He did the work of Jackaroo. He was also a writer. He used to write for a Sunday Mail, that is a newspaper, Sunday Mail, and then he was also during the Second World War. He was a trainee in the army. Now, Groom was an author. He was conservationist. He loves nature. Photographer, lecturer, journalist, and he was also very much famous for his walking habit. Some of his books are here, like Merry Christmas in London. It is the first book he has written. After that, other books are like One Mountain After Another, I Saw a Strange Land, Wealth in the Wilderness, and this one is Our Boys' Yarns, 1955. At last, he died in Melbourne again because of the coronary vascular disease. So this is all about the author. Let us proceed further. See, this is a note of some of the important words in the story, like deserted, voyage, yacht, anxious, jostling, concealed, straightened, veered, water's edge, wriggled, chum, stumbled, gagged, wrapped, ruefully, pinched, double, smaller, greened, foreigner. Foreigner means actually foreigner is a different way of speaking. So these are some of the important words from the chapter. Now, let us proceed to the important characters. The most important character is Jimmy Wright, because the whole story is revolving around him. Jimmy Wright is the youngest member of the Sea Scout, and he was in search of the supposedly ghost which he has seen. Bob Willis is his friend. He was also with him in this adventure, but unfortunately, both of them got separated. Now, Mr. Millman, he is actually the wealthy scout, and he's also the owner of the yacht. Then Jack Burton, we have seen another character. He is also a part of the Sea Scout, and he was the first to see that cupboard has a secret gate. Now, Gerald Turnbull, he was a boy who found the treasure in the tunnel. Captain Stutt was the man who had caught the smugglers who were running off with the Sea Hawk. Now proceed to the story in detail. Now see the story. The story, what happens here, some boys and a scoutmaster, Mr. Millman of the Sea Scout Kestrel. Kestrel Patrol is a name of actually the Sea Scout, to which there are 6 to 8 boys. They belong to the scout, and the head of, or the leader of the scout is Mr. Millman. They all have arrived to a deserted beach. There they found a small cottage some few yards away from the sea. Jimmy was extremely excited that they would be having an adventure at this place. So they had their food. After that, they were having a gossip about some presence of ghosts in that place. Jimmy and his best friend, Bob, they planned to visit upstairs, and they had gone even. But all of a sudden, Bob fell down, and there was a chaos among the boys. Jimmy was missing. Jimmy was not there. The full team with Mr. Millman, they all went in search for Jimmy. Now, when they were in search for the Jimmy, at that time, Jack Burton found a cupboard and also found a secret gate at the rear of it. Then the gate was open. Mr. Millman and the other boys, they all passed through the gate, and they found a huge tunnel there. They understood that this tunnel had some reason. This tunnel, a secret tunnel, was made because of some illegal activities. At the time only, Gerald Turnbull found a pile of gold and silver articles along with a skeleton on it. Okay. So now it shows that definitely there is some illegal activities are going on. But Jimmy was yet to be discovered. Jimmy was nowhere still. But Mr. Millman had understood that there is some illegal activities going on. Then, inside the tunnel, they found an entrance from where the light was approaching in. So they all went out from that place from where the light was approaching in. They came out and found that they were some 200 yards away from the seashore. So they were confused where they had come. Suddenly, what happened? Bob Willis found that Jack was lying in a prostrate figure. Means his head was down, he was on his knees. They all went there. Jack was in a very poor, Jimmy was in a very poor condition. Jimmy was in a prostrate figure, and Jimmy was in a very poor condition. Jimmy revealed that there was no ghost in the cottage, but there were some smugglers. And those smugglers had knocked him at his head and also put dirty cloth inside his mouth. And the smuggler had stolen the Seahawk. So Mr. Millman at that time commanded the boys to get ready with the boat they had and chase the Seahawk. The boys were able to reach to the boat, to the yacht, but before that there was a man, Captain Strutt. He was already in the yacht, and he had caught those 4 smugglers fleeing with the boat, with the yacht. And those smugglers were then handed to the government, which is the police, and these Sea Scout, these boys, they received some amount as a reward from the government. So it shows their bravery also. And after that, they were able to, the Sea Scout were able to buy their own yacht for their adventure. After that, the cottage, the Seaview Cottage, the name of the Seaview Cottage was changed to the Smuggler's Cottage, and it became a place of visit for people. Thank you.